Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jessica. This is my rolling project pan update for the month of May, and I've got a lot of items to talk about, so I'm going to jump right on into this video. But if you are new here and just discovering my content, please consider subscribing. I would love it so much if you decided to stick around. And if you are returning, welcome. Good to see you again. Thank you for clicking back. And I'm excited to share some updates with you. And I have some really exciting things rolling out, or at least one. or two. So let's jump right on into this video because it is 6:30 about on a Monday night and Mama is tired. So I want to get this video filmed and up for all of you and on to the next, right? So here we go. The first and most exciting update for this month is the foundation that I have been panning. This is the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation, and I've been working on this foundation since November of last year. When I first brought this into the project, it was weighing 91.6 grams, and it has been a lot of fun to pan. I have really been enjoying this product. I think it's a really great foundation for the price. Here's what it's been looking like over the past several months. It's been nice and steady progress on this foundation from month to month, and it's been fun to watch it go down and down with all of you. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was very close to being empty. As of the last update, it was weighing 62.52 grams. I reached for it 17 additional times since that update, making for 116 uses total. And here is what this foundation is looking like today. It is completely empty. Today it is weighing 29.08 grams. So I've used the remaining 4.15 grams, and in total I used up 29.08 grams of product over those 116 uses. So very happy to have this one rolled out. It was a pleasure to pan, a great foundation for the price range, and it's definitely one that I would recommend, especially if Sephora is having one of their 30% off Sephora brand sales. Pick this one up. I think it had a great wear time, great color range, and really enjoyed it. So that's the first exciting thing rolling out today. The next item is this melted lipstick from Too Faced. This is in the shade Chihuahua. It's a little mini size of their melted lipstick, and this is the shade that I have on my lips today. Hopefully it's not on my teeth. No, we're good. This one always ends up on my teeth somehow. It just, once it sets down, it'll last for a while, but when you first put it on, it is very dangerous as far as ending up on your teeth go. So when I brought this into the project in November of last year, it was weighing 8.7 grams, and I have been reaching for this consistently, not like a huge amount of uses each and every month, but consistent all the same. And we still aren't seeing a lot of progress on it, even though I am consistently reaching for it. It's just that kind of packaging where there's a lot of product left down in that final little pocket of packaging, but it's just taking forever to show any visual progress. So here's what it was looking like last month. This was after 51 uses in the project. It was weighing 7.15 grams. I reached for it 5 times this month, making for 56 uses total. And here's what this lipstick is looking like today. Today it's down to 7 grams, so I've used 0.15 grams of product. And I am suspicious that I've actually used it more than 5 times. A lot of times when I'm doing my makeup in the morning, I'm just happy to get a full face on, and then I kind of worry about my lipstick later in the day, or as like I'm going to work or arriving at work. So this lipstick and most of the lipsticks that I'm panning are in my everyday purse, and I reach for them when I get a chance, but sometimes I forget to mark it, or I just don't anticipate wearing it that day, and then I do end up wearing it, or sometimes even vice versa. But I want to say I wore this more than 5 times last month, but whatever, we'll go with 5. And I'm really hoping to amp up my uses on this one the next couple months and get it empty. I feel like this one is gonna last forever, and I don't want that. So I want this one to roll out eventually, definitely by the end of this year, hopefully not at the very end of the year, hopefully before we get to that point. But we're gonna continue plugging away at it. It's a beautiful nude. I would love wearing it every single day, or it's a great everyday shade, I should say. And we just need to make that final push to get this one empty. So that one is staying in. Next item is an eyeshadow that I'm trying to hit pan on. This is one of the ColourPop Super Shock shadows in the shade Krinkle, and this has been in my project since December of last year. When I first brought it in, it was weighing 18.74 grams and looking like this. This has been another slow and steady item in here. I've had some ups and downs with it. I've had to repress it. I've had to add oil to it. I've had to really kind of zhuzh it to make it work for me. But I'm still not giving up, but you know, it's still not something I'm making huge progress on from month to month. So here's what it was looking like last month. This was after 7 uses in the project. I reached for it 1 time last month, making for 8 uses total, and here's what it's looking like today. And there is a slight little dip starting to form there, but we are nowhere close to pan. Still not. But I was able to make a small difference as far as weight goes. It went from 18.79 grams to 18.78 grams. So I'm down 0.01 grams. And this is one that I am going to really keep plugging away at. It's going to stay in the project. I'm not going to roll it out. I'm going to hopefully amp up my uses on it in the summertime when I'm not going to work every single day. I can be more experimental with my eyeshadows. I've been so out of it recently that I haven't even been wearing eyeshadow or makeup on the weekends when I have the time and the freedom to experiment with my makeup. So eyeshadows like this have definitely been neglected, but there are ways to make this eyeshadow work for a more neutral look, and I just need to remember to reach for it and get some progress on this eyeshadow for all of you. So this one's staying in. It's gonna be with us for a while, but I'm gonna hit pan on it this year, okay? It's gonna happen. I have a few long haul items in my rolling project pan this year that I plan to work on for the entirety of 2025. And one of those is this liquid lipstick from Dose of Colors. This is the shade Stone. And my goal for this item is just to reach for it as much as I can during the course of the year and see what progress I'm able to make on it. It's getting quite old in my collection and I probably will be decluttering it soon, but I wanna use as much of it as I can before I do eventually do that, because I really do love this shade and it's been with me for a long time. So when I first brought this into the project, it was weighing 28.16 grams. I've been trying to reach for it 5 times every month, and up until this month I've been able to reach that goal. Here is what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 27.72 grams. I only reached for it 2 times this month, so I didn't meet that 5-use goal. And here's what it's looking like today. Today it's weighing 27.64 grams. So it is down 0.08 grams from last month to this month, and I've now used it 17 times total. So I'm going to try and make up for those missed uses in this next month and try and use it 8 times in the month of May. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. This is definitely a shade that's much more suited for the cooler times of the year. It's a very cool toned nude, but we'll see. You know, it wouldn't hurt to try, and I can definitely layer it with other lipsticks to make it more appropriate for the season. So we'll continue to plug away at that one, and I'm just happy that we have a nice little jump in weight so far. We are down almost half a gram, and I'm just gonna keep chipping away at it for the year, and hopefully we'll get it empty or very close to empty before the year is up. It's a similar story with this eye pigment from Your Minerals Sweden. This is in the shade Brown Hypnotic, and it's like a really taupey brown, almost purpley shade. And this one I'm also trying to use 5 times each month and just see what I can do with it over the course of the year and get some of this product used up. So I brought this into the project in January. It was weighing 14.41 grams. I reached for it 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, and you're not going to see much difference at all with it from month to month because you're using such a small amount of product, but I am getting those uses in. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 14.35 grams. I again met my 5-use goal this month, making for 20 uses total, and here's what it's looking like today. Today it's down to 14.34 grams, so I used 0.01 grams in those 5 uses. You know, it's so marginal what I'm able to use with this product, but it's getting use, which is more than I could say for it before, which is why it's in this project, and I'm not expecting to use it up by any means, but I am happy that it's getting some use because it's really pretty shade. It's very cool toned. Again, not great for this time of year, but I'm gonna keep incorporating it with other eyeshadows to make it work for the season and keep getting those uses on it. My kitty's here. Oh, my baby. My Beetlejuice. Look how big he is. He's mama's baby. He just loves me so much. And I love him. And I would kiss you, but I don't want to get lipstick on you. You're so snuggly. This next item is a Franken item. This is not Charlotte Tilbury. This is actually from Hourglass. There are 2 Hourglass blushes that I Frankened together. And I use this item as a blush topper / highlight type product. And it's been working beautifully for me, and I have just been loving having it in this project and panning it. I brought this into the project in January of this year. It was weighing 53.54 grams and looking like this. It's made some very satisfying jumps from month to month as we've been working on this item, and it's been really fun to watch this pan expand. Here's what this item was looking like last month. It was weighing 52.29 grams. I reached for it 12 times this month, making for 62 uses total, and here's what it's looking like today. Today it's down to 52.09 grams, so I've used 0.2 grams of product, and look how massive that pan is. It is so satisfying to see. I know I'm going to be finishing up this item very soon, maybe in the next couple months, and it's just going to be so satisfying to have used an entire highlight, an entire blush, whatever we want to call this. I'm just so happy that this product didn't go to waste. It was an item that smashed inside of its component when I was on vacation, and instead of just throwing it out, because I love Hourglass powder so much, I wanted to salvage it. I pressed it into this compact and I'm having an amazing time using it. It's just the perfect subtle highlight, the perfect little hint of blush, and I'm just so glad that it's getting to fulfill its destiny of being makeup on the face. So really happy to see this big shiny pan. I'm being very delicate with it because it is so small and close to the edges. It's very fragile, so I have to be really careful and delicate with it, but I'm having a lot of fun. It's just not going traveling with me. I'm just going in ever so lightly with that brush and trying to keep it as intact as I possibly can for all of you and for me, because I like seeing the satisfying progression of that pan. If I have to repress this, I will, but I'm really hoping I won't. So much fun to watch this one get bigger, and that one is staying in, but I don't think it's going to be around for too much longer. The next item is this NARS cream bronzer. This is in the shade Laguna 2, and this item I would love to have finished up this year, and I'm hoping I can get there, but in the meantime we're making some great progress on this one. So here's what this item was looking like when I first brought it into the project in February. It was weighing 52.77 grams. With each update I've made some nice little jumps visually, and it's been fun to watch this pan of cream bronzer expand with all of you. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 51.21 grams. I reached for it 22 times this month, making for 65 uses total, and here's what this bronzer is looking like today. Today it's weighing 50.29 grams, so I used 0.92 grams of product, which is incredible, almost a gram, and I don't know how much difference you'll see in the size of that pan, but I have started to also wear away the thick, like high edges of the cream, and I think that is, you know, not as satisfying visually, but I am starting to kind of lower the height of that product by using it that way. And my favorite way to apply this has been with just my fingertip. I go in there and I'm able to get just the exact amount that I want, place it in exactly the places that I want it, and then blend it out with the same brush that I'm using with my foundation. That's been my favorite way to apply it so far. I've tried going in there with a sponge or with its own brush, but then I just find I get a little too much product and I have less control as far as where that bronzer ends up, and so that has been my favorite way that I found to apply this, and I'm really enjoying this. It's so blendable, it's so beautiful, it's the perfect shade for me, it smells great, and it's a wonderful, wonderful product. So I'm so glad it's getting the use that it deserves. It's an expensive product, and I'm glad that this cream bronzer is not going to waste. So if I can empty it this year, that'd be very satisfying. I think I can. I really think I can. We are not even halfway through the year yet, and we've already made some great progress. I think in total I am down over 2 grams. So that bodes well. It does say there's 19 grams of product in here, but I did have a nice chunk of it used up before we even started this project, so there is hope. And really we're closer to 2.5 grams. So hopefully we can get there. Next item is a lipstick that I am panning. This one is from Lancome, and this is just a really bright, like bubblegum pink lipstick. The shade is number 246. And I have been using this as a lipstick here and there, but mainly I've been using this lipstick as a cream blush. It has a very slippery emollient formula, which is not the best for long wear on the lips, but it's beautiful on the cheeks. Here's what this lipstick was looking like when I first brought it into the project in February. It was weighing 26.41 grams. I've been making consistent progress on this lipstick, although it's been pretty slow. It has been consistent, and we are starting to get to that small nubbin size of lipstick that I love to see when I'm painting lipsticks. Here's what this lipstick was looking like last month. It was weighing 28.91 grams. I reached for it 22 times this month, making for 70 uses total, and here's what it's looking like today. Today it's weighing 28.7 grams, so I've used 0.21 grams of product, and it has definitely made a jump. Although it is kind of a small jump, it is a jump all the same. I have it drawn in my notebook here, and that little sliver you see is the new mark that I was able to make. And with 22 uses, and especially using it on my lips once or twice, I'm surprised that there isn't a bigger jump, but there definitely could be an error with how I am drawing it or how I'm able to mark the lipstick. It's a pretty precarious process trying to mark a cream lipstick like this and not have it go everywhere or destroy the bullet. So I'm just happy it's gotten some great use. We have a great weight difference to share, and I have really been enjoying this, especially as a cream blush. I've been just going in with my, again, same brush that I'm using for my foundation for the day. I just kind of swipe this onto my brush once or twice, 3 times, depending on how blushy I want to be, and then tap it on right over my cream bronzer, like, you know, in the area, on the cheeky, blushy area, duh. And it's just the beautiful pink glow, a very nice, creamy, moisturizing flush, and I'm just happy that it's getting some good use because I've had it for years and I don't love this shade on my lips. It is better for me this time of year, but just not my favorite shade to wear. So really happy that it's getting some great use on it, and it's gonna be staying in, but hopefully not for too much longer. I mean, maybe a couple more months, we'll see, but I'm excited to have this one empty definitely by the end of this year. Next item is the powder bronzer that I'm currently panning. This is from Tarte. This is the Park Avenue Princess Bronzer, and I am trying to use up this bronzer this year. Here's what this bronzer was looking like when I first brought it into the project in March. It was weighing 75.59 grams. I reached for it 27 times in the first month, and it was weighing 75.03 grams and looking like this. And during the past month, I reached for it 20 additional times, making for 47 uses total. And here's what the bronzer is looking like today. Today it's weighing 74.9 grams, and according to my measurements, I've only used 0.13 grams of product, which seems really low, but I think you will see a nice little jump in the size of that pan. So there's a possibility my scale's off, or maybe I'm just not making the progress that I think I'm making, even though I'm seeing some nice visual progress. I'm wearing around the sides that are very thin and not using a ton of product. So I have been making a concerted effort to kind of reach for this little area here where I am wearing it down a little bit more evenly, not necessarily concentrating on that pan and just worrying about expanding it. I want to kind of wear it down a little more evenly so that although you won't see those big jumps, I know at least I am getting closer to pan in other areas of the product, if that makes sense. This is all like panning strategy that it really is not important. I'm using the product. We got a weight difference, we got a visual difference, and I'm hopeful to have this used up by the end of the year. It's gonna be a stretch to get there. I know there's a lot of product still left in here, especially over here. It's just like almost completely intact, how it looks when it was brand new, basically. So I have a lot of work ahead of me, but we're here for it. You know, I'm going to be so happy to have another empty bronzer, hopefully by the end of this year, but if not, we'll get there eventually, of course. So that one is staying in, but it does have a nice big old pan in there, and that is always fun to see. Next item is this lip gloss from Fenty Beauty. This is the Heat formula in the shade Hot Cherry, and my goal for this, of course, is to use it up. Here's what this lip gloss was looking like when I first brought it into the project in March. It was weighing 32.24 grams. I reached for it 11 times during the first month, and here's what it was looking like then. It was weighing 31.47 grams. And I reached for it 8 times during this past month, making for 19 uses total, and here's what it's looking like today. Today it's weighing 30.95 grams, so I've used 0.52 grams of product, and I think you'll see a nice little jump with those 8 uses. I definitely reapply this a lot each time I wear it, so it's not 8 times of me applying it, it's 8 days of me wearing it, and I've used up a good chunk of product. I think you should be able to see that in the video, and I'm going to really push for this one. I'm going to try and have this empty by the next update. I think I can get there. If not next month, definitely the month after that. We're getting very close to the end with this lip gloss, and I'm really going to push for it. I'm going to try and reach for it on a almost daily basis, reapply it, and have nice glossy lips as much as possible, and have an empty lip gloss for you very soon. I just want to focus on other things. I love this lip gloss. It's perfect for the summertime. But here we are in spring, still enjoying it, and I am really, really hopeful that we'll be having this one empty very, very soon. Next item was this ColourPop Lippie pencil, and for this one I just had a 10-use goal on it. I'm trying to use all of my lip pencils this year at least 10 times. So I brought this one into my rolling project pan to help me to get to that goal with this shade. This is the shade Dohee. It's like a really pretty coral pink shade, and I thought it would be perfect for me to reach that 10-use goal during these spring months, and I was able to meet that goal. Here's what it was looking like when I first brought it into the project in March. It was weighing 5.7 grams. I reached for it 5 times during the first month, and here's what it was looking like then. It was weighing 5.49 grams. And during the past month, I reached for it that additional 5 times, making for 10 uses total. And here's what it's looking like today. It's weighing 5.37 grams today, so I used 0.12 grams of product. And in total, I used 0.33 grams of product over those 10 uses. So this one is going back into my lip liner collection. Happy to know that it got its 10 use goal this year. I can mark that one off of my plan to pan list for 2025. And we're getting pretty low in the size of that Lippie pencil. I would say it's almost halfway done. And it's a great shade, but it's not like a year-round shade for me. So I'm happy it got some great use in the suitable months that I appreciate shades like this. So this one's going back into my collection for a use later on, and we are that much closer to finishing it, which I do plan to do eventually. Maybe it'll be next year. And the last item to update you on is this little sample size sunscreen. This one is from Supergoop. It's their Glow Screen SPF 40, and I got this as a 100 point perk from Sephora. I brought this into my project last month. It was weighing 14.16 grams. I reached for it 7 times, and today it's weighing 10.8 grams. So I used 3.36 grams of product in those 7 uses. And I definitely could have used this up over the course of the month, but I just had this in my travel bag, and I have other things I'm using here in my regular makeup drawer. So this one has been living in my travel bag. It's going to continue to live in my travel bag, and I am not in a rush to finish it by any means. So I'm going on a big trip in June. This will probably get finished up then. I'll try and reach for it a couple times in May just so I have a little bit of progress to share with you, but it's kind of taking a little bit of a break until we go on a big trip. You know, like when I go up to my cabin, I'll bring it with me. When I go like for an overnight somewhere, it'll come with me. I'm going to Disneyland in a couple weeks. It'll come with me there. So it'll definitely get some use in May, but I'm not reaching for it every single day. This one will be used up definitely by the end of the summer. I can promise you that. But I will say that so far I'm really liking this product. It has a really nice glow to it, a nice luminosity. I guess Glow Screen is a very apt name for it. And I like that it has a high SPF. I don't love that it's a chemical sunscreen though. I really much prefer mineral sunscreen. So knock a point off for that. Probably not something I would spend my money on, but I am really happy I got to try it out, especially after hearing so much hype around this product. Okay. And to round out this video, I do have a few items rolling in. So since I finished up that Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation, let's bring in the next foundation waiting in the wings. I have been dying to use this one ever since I bought it, and I have already started using it, and it is worth the hype. So this one I'm bringing in is from L'Oreal. This is their Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation with Sunscreen. And I was influenced to buy this by Jessica Braun. She loves it, and I tend to really agree with her as far as foundations go. And I have absolutely been loving it. It goes on seamlessly. It just like melts into the skin. It is medium coverage, but still feels like very light coverage. It feels very light on the skin. It just blends beautifully. It is a great shade match for me. I have the shade Natural Buff 40, and I have already fallen in love with this product. So I'm very excited to use this. I think it's gonna be perfect for the summertime. It is gonna be a really nice shade once I start to get a little bit more tan. Even though it's working fine just now, it's gonna work for me throughout the summer. And today this one is weighing 38.51 grams. My goal will be to use it up, and I think I'm going to really enjoy that process. So very excited to pan this foundation, and that means I only have like one other foundation in my collection, and I'm ready to treat myself to new foundation. So that should be coming very soon in my future Empties and Spendies video. I have a foundation with my eye on it that I'm very excited to try. So it feels good to be going through my foundations, and it makes me feel okay with going and splurging on a new one very soon. So that one is new and exciting, and very excited to pan it. And since we finished a Lippie pencil goal, let's bring in another Lippie pencil to try and reach that 10 use goal on. This one is also from ColourPop. This is the shade Frenchie, which is a true blue toned red lip liner. And my goal for this one also will be to use it 10 times. As of today, it's weighing 6.75 grams. And I think that summertime is the perfect time to bring in a red lip product. I absolutely love wearing red lips in the summer. And I am going to Europe very soon. Me and my husband are going to London and Paris. And what better place to sport a red lip than Paris, France? So I'm excited to bring this with me, and you know, it's aptly named Frenchie. I just now made that connection. So I'm very excited to wear this in the streets of Paris with my husband. I feel very glamorous, and that will be a very easy way and fun way for me to get those 10 uses on it. So really excited about this one. If I use it more than 10 times, that would be great, but I think I should have a fun time reaching for this in the next couple months. And the last item coming into this project is this eyeliner pencil. This is from Urban Decay. This is one of their 24/7 glide-on eye pencils, and this is in the shade Deviant, which is a really beautiful blue shade. My goal for this one for the year was to use it 25 times. That's like my plan to pan goal for this item. And I've already used it 3 times. So my goal for the rolling project pan is to use it the additional 22 times to meet that 25 use goal. And it might take me a few months to get there, but again, May, June, July, those are gonna be the blue eyeshadow months. Like, come on, 4th of July, summer. I love a blue look in the summer, like a warm tone with a pop of blue, a red lip, or like a nude lip. So pretty, and I'm just really excited to finally get some good uses on this. I've had this eyeliner for years and years. It still works beautifully. The 24/7 eye pencil is such a tried and true, amazing formula. Look at how pretty this shade is. It has a slight metallic quality to it, and I just love a pop of blue so much. It's so versatile, so fun, so pretty. So hopefully it won't take us too long to get to that 22 use goal, and I can check that one off my list as well for 2025. And as of today, it is weighing 4.81 grams. I'm sure I'll have to sharpen it once or twice over those 22 uses, and hopefully we'll have a nice little jump before this goal is up. So that is all for my rolling project pan update. I am strangely out of breath, so thank goodness we made it through all the products. I really hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, don't forget to give this video a quick thumbs up before you leave. It would help me out so much. But I appreciate you all just so much for being here and watching this video all the way to the end. You are a real one. I'm sending my love out to you wherever you are in the world that this video finds you, and I hope you're doing well, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. But until then, please take care. Bye.